Hi and welcome to this video workshop on online delivery best practices from distributed learning. For more than 20 years, NBCC has been delivering online courses through continuing education. In these sessions, we'll explore some best practices in our continuing education deliveries, which we hope will be helpful as instructors prepare their own online resources. In this session, we're going to talk about course structure, how our courses are laid out in Brightspace and why. We're also going to look at two documents you can download that cover much of what we'll talk about. Those are a course structure document and module template. Now remember, all our courses are continuing education, which means all our students are part-time. Some are only taking one course. Most are not regular college students. They're in a variety of locations, and most have full-time jobs, families, and other commitments. Now, although our students are different, a lot of what we have learned from our deliveries may apply to your courses as well. Here's an example of a continuing education course in Brightspace. Now, although learning methods, media, development tools, assessments, and so on may vary in our online courses, the basic structure and layout is going to be the same. And there are several reasons for this. So one reason is that we want things to be consistent for the students. So if a student is taking multiple courses or a student has taken a course before, the basic structure and layout is going to be the same. Another reason is that we want the courses to be as simple as possible. So we have approximately 2,000 enrollments a year, and these students, unlike yours, aren't on campus and they aren't taking multiple courses in Brightspace, or many of them aren't. And so we don't want them calling in asking how to find where their assignments are or anything like that. So we've experimented with a number of different layouts, and this is the one that we found that minimizes the number of calls, emails, and so on that we get from students, just helping them navigate. Another reason is that this is my course and I've taught it a number of times. But if another instructor were going to be teaching applied writing and wanted to use my course as a starting point, it's easy because all our courses are laid out the same way, so the other instructors would know where everything is located as well. Here's what our homepage looks like. You can see we have the table of contents right here on the left, right on the homepage, so nobody has to look around for anything. We have announcements on the right, and then updates down below. And to customize the home page is easy. You just click right here, click on Manage Home Pages, create a home page. You can see I've created one called Con Ed. And then down here you add a widget. It's the table of contents or content browser, and then announcement and updates. Then you apply that home page, and away you go. Here is another continuing education course, and you can see the layout is basically the same. We have the table of contents and the announcements and updates. Now another thing we customize is the course menu across the top of the page, and we only include here the tools that the students are actually going to use in this course. We don't want them looking around for them, and we don't want links to a bunch of tools they're not going to use. So to customize this is easy. You just click up here on the three dots again. I would select Manage All Course Nav Bars. I'd create a nav bar. You can see there's one here I've created called Continuing Ed. And then you can delete links by clicking on the X's and add links. Then you apply the nav bar you've created. Now, every Continuing Ed nav bar must contain links to course home, grades, and class list. They may also contain links to content and class progress. Then the remaining navbar items are going to be the tools that you actually used in the course. So in this case, discussions, quizzes, and assignments. Now you can, if you want, also include edit course and manage files and some other things like that, because they're only visible to the instructors anyway, and they don't take up space in the navbar for the students. So again, the reason that we do this is that the learning environment itself should not be a barrier. It should be transparent, and the information and the tools that the students need should be right there. Another common element of our course structure is Intro Start Here, which is the first module in the table of contents of every course, and it contains course information for the students. It must contain a course outline, a course schedule, instructor contact information, and a folder called How to Use Brightspace, which contains links to videos about how to use the course tools that are available in this course. You can have other things under Intro Start Here, and they can vary. You can read some ideas in our course structure document that you could download. But the course schedule is perhaps the most important document in the course. And this is just an HTML document made in Brightspace. You do that by, let's see here, clicking on New and Create a File. So this is just an HTML file, and you can see it lists all of the activities and the assignments and the due dates. And the beauty of this is it's just an HTML file, so all I have to do next time I deliver the course is click on Edit HTML and then go in and edit these dates. And the students can print this, stick it on their fridge or whatever, and they have no excuse not to know when something was due. Now for us in continuing education, this is the only place in the whole course that we typically put dates. Now, some instructors do add assignment dates and things like that, but as a general rule, we do not. And the reason is that it's just so hard to track down all those dates next time you want to deliver the course. And what will happen is you'll have on your course schedule that assignment 1 is due on October 6th, but in the assignment itself, you'll say that it's due on October 8th. And it's just so confusing. So this is the only place that we put them. It also means that if somebody else uses this course next time, that they don't have to go looking all through the course for wherever I stuck the dates, because the only place they are is here. So this is how we would lay out our continuing education courses in Brightspace. Now let's talk a little bit about the structure of the courses themselves. The table of contents of a course is divided into modules that are numbered or not numbered. You've seen examples of both so far now. And our modules in our online distributed learning or continuing ed courses are organized around course delivery into logical divisions that support the curriculum competencies but don't necessarily line up one for one. So for example, you can see I've got a module on adding and subtracting fractions and another module on multiplying and dividing fractions, even though there might be only one curriculum competency on fractions. And that's because I'm an instructor, and this is how I would break down the content and teach it in order to achieve the course competencies. Now, all modules contain all the lessons, activities, discussions, assignments, quizzes, and so on that are part of that module. And they appear linearly in the module at the point where they would be completed in the course. So for example, here under whole numbers, if there's an assignment for whole numbers, and there is, it's right here within the module. And if there were a quiz or a discussion or something, it would be right there in the module too. Now they can also find it by clicking on quizzes or clicking on assignments, but it's also available right here in the whole numbers module. The structure of the continuing education modules follows our module template document seen here and also available for download. Although it's a template, it's actually quite flexible, and quite a bit of research went into creating this template, which we can discuss another time. So the template begins, and each module begins with an introductory piece. So we first of all have a think about it, which is a stimulus designed to introduce the module, get the learners thinking about the topic, and so on. Then we have in this module, which is the objectives or goals for completing this module. Then we have the lessons or topics. So this is the content component of the module. And you know, it's interesting, a lot of people think about this part, preparing and inserting the content, as the course, and it's not. these are just the resources. And down here, when we get to the activities, that's the course. Following the content, we would have review, you might have exploration or research, you might have self-tests, you might have discussions, you might have assessments of some kind or evaluations of some kind, like quizzes or assignments or whatever. And you should also give evaluation criteria because we want the students to know how they're being marked. So let's look at some examples of modules in different continuing education courses to see how they implement the template differently as appropriate to that course, and yet they're similar so that students have no difficulty following along because they're all based on the template. So here we have Technical Math Basics. This is an excellent course. You can see it begins with Introduction, or in this module, or Think About It, and then in this module. And then the lessons are organized inside a folder here because otherwise there'd just be so much in this module if all of this stuff was not organized into folders that it'd be overwhelming for the students. So the instructor who developed this has organized everything into these subfolders. And then we have a review and assignment. And then this instructor has added more resources that these students can use to extend their knowledge and prepare for test 1, which will happen after a couple of modules. Now here's another course that an instructor is building right now. This is called Literacies in Play. This is largely a research-based course because it's a second year, a post-certificate course. So this includes a Think About It and in this module, and then there are activities, there's a discussion and a quiz and an assignment. And then instead of lessons, the content is called resources because these are some of the resources that the students are going to use to conduct their research. Another course would be a web design course. This one I made, it's actually been around for years. And this one you can see, here's Think About It in this module, and then the content pages are right here, and there's the review and an activity and so on are right there because it's not overwhelming. But all these are examples of different implementations of the same template. So this has been a short overview of the e-learning course structure that we use through continuing education. It may not seem like a big deal, but it is. Consistency is really important, and all of our courses have a consistent look, feel, and navigation. Ease of use is also really important for students. They need to know what they should do and what's expected of them. Ease of maintenance is also really important for instructors so that we don't have to spend any more time than we need to doing things that we could do more simply. We've tried a lot of different approaches through continuing education, and these are the strategies that we have found that have worked.